Guys, if we do the math, I have taught over 1,000 students. So even if they only half of my students went and subscribed to my page, I'd still have more than 400. I don't care about it. I do not care about it. Literally years ago, YouTube sent a thing about, hey, are you ever going to try to make money? No? Okay, great. And I had to literally say, no, I'm not trying to monetize this channel. I'm just here to be free. So that's tomorrow, and so is for anyone playing along at home, because you missed this announcement. This is also now due tomorrow. But you could go ahead and write this down so we don't have to pull out your plan book tomorrow. So if you didn't write it down yet, I guess you can pull your plan book out tomorrow. If I was updating math, as quickly as I could be, would you have 2 more assignments in your math today because you aren't holding yourself accountable to doing your homework? And if last night was way too busy and you had practice for church or whatever, I get it. But you have to figure out a way if you're going to budget your time to stay on top of work, because I think you're starting to get in the vibe of I normally update math and put a bunch of stuff in at once, weekly or maybe twice a week. I don't do it every day. I'm not trying to play gotcha, right? If you had scouts last night or whatever and didn't have time to go get homework done, do it the next day. Or maybe the day after that. But guys, the only way that you know if you know what you're doing is to try it. If you don't try it, you'll never get any feedback. Have we talked about my toilet in here? No? Okay. I know, Monsa's confused. One of the most critical pieces of feedback I've ever been given was from a toilet. So we bought we bought a house years ago, right? It's down the road. It's not technically in Worthington, but I'm close to some of you guys. And I decided to replace the toilet. More so, my wife told me to, because the top of it was just a piece of wood. Which, if you've looked at a toilet, you know there shouldn't be wood on top of the toilet. Somebody broke it, right? So somebody had broken it and needed it replaced. So I pulled the old toilet, put in a new one, and the next couple days, I got some feedback in the form of water leaking from the upstairs bathroom into the downstairs bathroom, ruining the ceiling. That was my feedback that I was progressing. I then did it again and got to mastery because it stopped leaking. I'm not making this up. I failed the first time I tried to replace a toilet. But guess what? Now, I've done it for my grandpa, I've done it for my neighbor. I know how to replace toilets, and I'm confident because I've practiced it. I know that's a silly thing to be confident with, but when your toilet breaks and you need to replace it, you would like it to go well and not leak toilet water into the other bathroom. So the only way we can know if we know what we're doing is to practice it. If you haven't practiced this, done your homework last night, you might still feel rocky. That's why we're sitting in partners. So with your partner, talk about which one of these proportions would make sense to make sure that our labels are agreeing and our numbers that go with each other are with each other. You do not need to solve this. We're just practicing picking which one matches it. You do not need to solve it. So you might not have to write anything down yet. You can if you want to, but talk with each other. Which of those makes sense and why? See if y'all agree. All right, Monset. Bring it back. I'm trying to move kind of quickly so we have time to check con. 1A did not check con. We do not know who has won. All right, Monset, help me out with what you thought and why. I mean, it could be division, right? Or we could just use it as a fraction like it is. You totally could. You don't need to do all that work here, though. Because it's just saying which one is set up correctly. Montef's 100% right. He's just doing more than he has to. The biggest thing to look for here is, did my markers go with, glue sticks. Did my glue sticks go with my glue sticks? Did the glue sticks go with their appropriate cost? Yes, and yes. We could solve this if we wanted to, but we do not have to. Questions on why it is option C here. And again, this is being recorded. It would be a silly waste of time for you to, while you're doing your con, be like, we did that in class, I need to go watch the video. You should just think through the problem, but we are recording this, so if you decide later to go back and watch the video again, you can. All right, let's get some erasers now. We got glue sticks, let's get some erasers. Talk with your partner about which of those proportions would work for this one. Ooh, and some of us are remembering there also was a none of the above option.
So it could be something like this or
We need our labels to match. Top to top, bottom to bottom, we need our labels to match. Izzy, what are you thinking here? Or did I not give enough time? Van, what are you thinking here? I might not have given you guys enough time. Isaac? Okay.
It's none of the above because if you look at all these questions, they don't match up with the data we're given.
So we're looking for this to be part of the proportion, right? We have it here. Why doesn't this work? So
the prices aren't aligned. For some, because the 3, which would be an eraser, is matched up with the price.
yeah,
And then the X, which is supposed to be
this
the
is
price.
erasers. Here they didn't even match up the 660 with the 6. Ooh, wait, here we got our 6. They did it again. Markers, like, this isn't matched up. But wait a minute, Isaac. D has 660 with 6. Those are together, right? Erasers to erasers. D would be our answer here because it's all good. It was at the bottom of the screen. It was kind of hard to see. This would be our dollars, right? They're asking us how much would it cost. Erasers to erasers, dollars to dollars. The 660 goes with the 6. And like Montef said last time, if we do this division, if you do that, you get the price of one eraser. How much is one eraser? Yeah, it'd be $1.10 here. And that's actually a constant proportionality. Right? We don't have to do that with this one, but we will be eventually. Try this one. I don't know if Kabila or Smith are on radio, but I am currently teaching. There's a really cool jazz song called Watermelon Man.
Oh yeah, I can play it on the piano.
For real?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Not only that you can play it, but that you also know like what I'm talking about. We played that in my high school jazz band. I played vibraphone. Sometimes I got to play drum set, but I was kind of.
Good afternoon, Danya Alahami. Please stop by the Phoenix office. Danya Alahami, please stop by the
Yeah, I knew
Phoenix
that was
office.
coming
Thank
because
you.
I just tried to get her on the radio, but I had to tell them I'm teaching. Anna, what are you thinking here? A, so our 896 went with 7. That's what we were shooting for. And then did watermelons stay with watermelons? Yes. And then is this the cost we don't know? Yeah. There we go. It would be A here. Any questions on how Anna chose A? You guys ready to start solving some of these? Yeah, let's do some actual math. By the way, this one, trapdoor. This one is none of the above. We're not solving this one. We're going to set it up on our own, right? So like one more just to show you also because I want to help you avoid the trapdoor. If you see this one on your homework, realize it's a trap. So I just try to set it up and I try to take the info they gave me. The better way to get, like the better habit to get in, put money on top. Because we're often talking about how many dollars per whatever, right? So I go to set this up, if I put money on top, what goes on bottom? Anybody? Sorry. 8, right? Because that money goes with 8. 8 what? Dogs, cats, pizzas, books. So then, Callum, help me put that 10 where it goes. Would it go on top of the yellow fraction or on bottom? Why is that?
Because they have to line up.
Because the label's got to match, right? It's books on bottom, books on bottom. The 10 is books. That's the only place it can go. And then we could do this. We could, but we're not going to on this one. Because let's just do this one. Micah, not me. I know, you would pronounce that Mika. But actually, I've heard it pronounced both ways. So Micah can eat 21 hot dogs in 6 minutes. I cannot do that. I've never tried, but I don't want to. She wants to know how many minutes it would take her to eat 35 hot dogs, assuming she can eat at the same pace. Work with your partner to set up the proportion and then solve it, right? Like we were doing yesterday with the arrows and figuring out the multiplication. Let's all agree though. What do we want on top? Do you want hot dogs on top or minutes on top? Hot dogs, sure. Let's do hot dogs on top. So you are going to set up hot dogs on top. Hot dogs. And then what? Minutes on bottom? So let's all agree you're putting hot dogs on top, minutes on bottom.
And then we have to solve it.
Hot, and then you got to solve for how long would it take her to eat 35. My stomach hurts just thinking about it. Make sure you're putting labels in your proportion.
No writing.
Make sure we're putting labels in our proportion. You really got stuck on cross multiplication, didn't you? Not stuck in a bad way, but like you're not doing it the way I'm teaching, which is fine because cross multiplying works. But I need to make sure you guys understand proportional relationships. I mean, I'm out. My box is empty. What, by cross multiplying? It's not the only way. That's a way.
They showed me different ways, and none of them like my brain can process. So I was like, how's that one?
So also one strategy I use is like if Con shows it way A, I try to avoid way A because you can get way A from Con, right? I'll show you ways B and C, so then if you use their help tools, it shows you A. I didn't need to. Does that make sense? Like, yeah. By the way, we can cross multiply here. I've not hung up my cross multiply poster because I just didn't want us cross multiplying yet. But if you have been taught how to cross multiply, or if you get help from Con on like the step-by-step show me how, cross multiplying works here. I just need to teach you about proportions. So that's why we're talking through all the proportional stuff. I need some help, and it looks like I'm getting help from Kyra. Kyra, from the information they gave us, how would I set up like what over what? Oh, come on. How many hot dogs in how many minutes? You can help me with this. No, read the board, and if you can't, I'm going to make you move like I did to Callum the other day. How many hot dogs in how many minutes? So, since we said hot dogs on top, 21, if you want to abbreviate, sure, HD. And then 6 And because like Montse said, if I do this division, I'll figure out how many hot dogs she eats each minute. That might be useful, but we don't have to do that here because, Soul, what else can I set up using the other info they gave us or asked us? Can you stop kicking the table back there, please? You can hear it. Everyone can hear it. What else do I put where? Yeah, it's like we've got 35, right? Does it go on top or bottom? Yeah, we got to put it on top because it's hot dogs. Can you stop? So Jay, if I don't know how to multiply to get from 21 to 35. Careful. Jay just pointed out the trap door so we don't fall in it. We got to divide. We got to divide backwards. If you are looking for what multiplication, we can divide backwards. So I'm doing 35 divided by 21. Do that in your calculator real quick. I think it comes out to be a weird number. Is it a good number or a weird number?
It's 1
That's a lie. That 7 doesn't actually exist. Keep that number in your calculator. I wanted to show this again, like on purpose. So you did 35 divided by 21 and got not a great decimal. All right, it's okay, but so 35 divided by 21. Leave it in your calculator. What you need to multiply by is that 6 on bottom. So just keep that in your calculator. Hit times 6. Not 96, just 6. Oh, hey, 10 minutes. Now, if you're sitting here going, okay, what did he talk about cross multiplication for? So we can get to 10 minutes that way. Or, is you willing to walk us through cross multiplication real quick? At the beginning. Hey, especially if you haven't cross multiplied, you're going to want to pay attention to Izzy, which means you're not talking.
So what you do is you take 21 hot dogs over 6 minutes, and you cross it over with the x at the bottom of 35.
Also known as the butterfly method because it sort of looks like a butterfly.
And then you take the 35 over the x and cross it over with the 6, and then you say 21 times x equals 35 times 6.
So yeah, if you cross multiply, you're just multiplying diagonally, they're equal to each other. But now, wait, you probably did it. 210
I think so, yeah. Maybe I got
It is. Well, that's what I did too, so.
is 21 times x. How do we get rid of that 21 then, Izzy?
So I just take the 21 and then I put it on the 210. Do I know why I do that? No, Khan Academy told me to.
It's because of this. We'll do more algebra later in the year. But guys, like what Khan has shown Izzy, and you're a great example of like, I didn't teach you this. You learned it off the site that we do our practice on. If we're trying to undo multiplication, we divide. And that's why it's having her do that division. And I hate to say it, but like, if Izzy knows what to do, the why she's doing it can sort of happen later. Like you can understand the why later. If you understand what to do, that matters more. Like if you understand where to go in your Phoenix schedule, that's more important than why is your schedule what it is. Right? You knowing where to go is sort of the baseline of what we start at. All right, let's do another one. We do not need to cross multiply. You can if you want to. There is a pancake event coming up for Veterans Day, by the way. So if any of your family, like parents, grandparents, or veterans, they would get to eat for free. I heard that we have Chris Cakes coming again this year, and he throws the pancakes. Like once they're cooked, you like stand back there with the plate, and he like throws them at. Like, so yeah, just by the way. So here's our new situation. Try that. You can have them not thrown to you. You can also just like have them put on your plate. But it's a fun thing. Who what? It's a dude named Chris who makes pancakes. Chris Cake. It's like a Worthington dude, I guess. So, nope. We're moving on. How many people can read a feed with 55 pancakes. Ha!
Why?
Because you have hiccups. Did it work?
No.
Yes. You don't know yet.
Why? Why did that work? I don't want that to work.
I tried that with my wife one time, and she went like this, and she was holding a drink, and it went all over her, and I got in a lot of trouble. Don't scare somebody when they're holding a drink. Or, like, well, if she has hiccups.
You have a good reason.
Did it work?
I feel like it's starting to come back.
God dang it.
It hurt for a second before it did.
I did a little bit. Oh, God.
You can go get a drink. You can also drink water upside down, helps with hiccups.
How
I'm
do you
about
drink
okay,
water upside
You
down?
put, I'm not making this up, guys. I know you probably think I'm crazy, but so imagine this is your water bottle. You tip it like forward. You need to like, get your head down. It's something with how the water goes like up and through. I don't.
If I just slam
Not
my
right,
head
I
on the
mean,
table.
sort of, kind of, but I think that's part of why it pushes your hiccups away.
I did that
Here.
version of stuff. I didn't know what I did. I just slammed my head on the table.
Let's go pancakes on top. Let's go pancakes on top. Isaac B. If we do pancakes on top, can you tell me the first fraction to set up? Yeah, that's like literally. Sorry, I know it's weird when I start my sentence with your name, but because I'm not waiting to call on people, I just. So, Isaac's gonna help us set this up. Hopefully, you know what to do. But we're doing pancakes on top. Isaac, help me out.
So first it's 22 and then 8 like under it. And then that
Hold on, let me get caught up with labels. 22 pan over 80 PO. You don't have to write out the whole labels. Just give yourself enough that you know what it is. Link, are you writing this down? So then, Isaac, what else do we set up?
50 pancakes for the abbreviation.
Yeah, I just put pan just so I know pancakes versus people. And then, didn't work. If we don't, here, let's keep moving. Harrison, if I don't know what to multiply by here, how can I figure it out? Divide.
55 by 22.
Yeah, backwards, right? So we divide backwards.
I cross multiplied with it.
Ooh, you could also cross multiply if you want. This, I think it's 2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I don't know.
So this is 2.5. This one's kind of nicer. What's 8 times 2.5? 20? Yeah? Yeah, that makes sense.
I also got 20 when you cross multiplied.
There we go, confirmation. If cross multiplication makes more sense in your head, you can do that.
Did you say that 10 minutes left? No, that was 2 minutes.
Oh, we have like maybe
15.
15.
Try this actually on your own. Let's go skin on top. I know that's weird to say. Let's go skin on top.
I mean, that's
so weird.
Skin is on top.
I'm going to write down notes. I want to
Well, also, if we get technical, the sunscreen goes on top of the skin. But let's go skin on top.
No, I like to peel off my skin, put the sunscreen underneath, and then put it back.
What? I like this. I like this Bernie.
If your skin peels off, it might be too late for sunscreen. It might be too late for
But
sunscreen.
I like the
Skin on top. Because I have some people like choosing to not write things out. I can't make your decisions for you. I know some teachers really think we can force you to do things, but in my decade of teaching, I've learned like that's not a fight I'm gonna fight. I will let you learn from your mistakes, and like I will send your parents videos of class. I will send here's everything we did together. Your kids should have this written down, and then it will bite you in the butt. Or you could just do what we're doing in class, and then you can have this like step up on your homework. Because most of these problems, like all of these problems, come straight from what's going to be on your homework. Already today, somebody from 1A came to me and they said, hey, look, we did this in class. And I said, yeah, do you have it written down? They're like, yeah, I got the answer. It's already done. Let's go skin on top here. Question or answer? Do you guys not have one over here? Somebody needs a calculator over here.
Here, I go.
Do you guys have two back there? Yeah, go ahead and toss one to them. Guys, you can share calculators with your partner. That's also to help you work together. So you have to talk to each other. Oh no. We have to talk to each other. Socializing, not involving a screen? Guys, I'm not joking. It's weird when you walk out through the commons in the morning when Carrie's all out there crowded around screens. It doesn't feel right. Like, imagine that you fell asleep 20 years ago. Like, when I was a kid, 20 years ago. A little over 20, I was your age, right? No one had cell phones. Only people for, like, their job that had cell phones, whatever. Laptops? Nope. Not unless you had a ton of money. Like, nobody had personal devices. When you showed up to school, you just had to sit and talk to each other. You had to make up your own fun. You had to find a rock on the playground and make up a game with it. Like, and now, so all this to say, I hope you sort of appreciate us not having phones, and you guys have to socialize with each other. It's good for you. Trust me. All right, Brad, help me set up skin on top. I know, sounds weird. What do we set up? How much skin, how much sunscreen for what they give us?
I know what to do, I just don't know how to put it into words.
All good. So you want to pass for now? Yeah. Link, help me set up skin on top. Because here's the info they give us, just straight up. They say these go together. How much skin does he have? Well, that's how much we're going to end up covering right here for what they give us. It's got 45, right? 45 centimeters. Now be careful, that 2 is part of the label, right? That squared is part of the label. It doesn't do anything in this problem aside from it's part of the label. How much sunscreen does he need to go with that 45, Link?
3.
You're not Link. Link, your voice sounds like Jay right now.
J. Should you have a pickup?
So then, Mason, what can I put over here?
You can put 240 on skin.
On top then?
And put S on top.
Okay. And do you know what to multiply by here? Because I sure don't. If we don't know, what do we do?
Division.
Yeah, we did. Division backwards.
It's 5 and then 3 repeating.
Not a nice number. So keep it in your calculator and hit times 3. Right? Keep it in your calculator and hit times 3. What is it? 16. Who's like singing? We don't really need to know who it is, but stop it. We're in math class, not choir. It's really hard to find a job as a music teacher. Otherwise, maybe I would have gone into music. All right, try this one. Back to some whole numbers. Maybe this one will work out nicer. Guys, if you have been choosing not to try these, you really need to. You really need to write some of these down. It's also very likely to end up on the homework you do tonight or tomorrow. What do you want to do on top? Leaders or flower pots? Leaders. Okay, let's go leaders on top. Because we haven't done many with the smaller on top. Let's go leaders on top. Leaders on top. Leaders on top. We getting this down? Do we need a new piece of paper? You had started setting it up the other way. Excuse me. Leaders on top. I'm just going to abbreviate flower pots FP. Guys, I want you to actually interact with your neighbor, get to an answer, agree on that answer. If you don't agree, duke it out with math. Duke it out with math, right? Show your work. Prove them wrong. Oh, by the way, what you've written does you no good if you leave it here. Well, okay, it does you a little good because there's research that says we write it, we remember it better. But your papers go with you, right? At the end of class, your papers go with you. Asher, help me set up the beginning. What's my fraction going to look like at the start? Sorry, I was going to wait until I could hear Asher because he's trying to answer, but people are making moans and groans, and I don't know why. Sorry, Asher, go ahead. So yeah, 9 liters, 24 flower pots. Now in my brain, I think it's funny to talk about liters and flow. It's like liquid flows. My brain is weird. All right, Jenny, help me with the other side of the fraction. They also give me a 40. Where should that go? On bottom, right, to go with the other flower situation. And then Griffin, do you know how to get from 24 to 40?
You multiply by 1.66666.
How'd you figure that out? You didn't just pull that out. Oh, so you did division. Guys, you might, this part that I'm writing down also over here, you might want to write that down as that's what we did, or you could put it right here. 40 divided by 24 came out to be 1.666. We put a line over it to say it keeps going, but leave it in your calculator. You don't need to write that. I mean, you can write it down a little bit, but keep it in your calculator and just hit times what? Times 9, because that's what we're going to multiply with, is the 9 on top. What's it come out to be? 15 liters.
But doesn't it use the number in the calculator once you hit another button?
If you hit times, it does.
Wait, Mr.
If you hit another operation, hold on a sec. I got to prove a point, because I am the teacher that'll say, yes, I told you so. I also like being right, because I'm normally not right.
I'm just asking a question.
No, you're fine.
You told me that
This number, not a great number, not horrible, but if I want to use that to multiply by 9 on top, if I hit 9 times, I can still get the other number, it's just harder. What we need to do is start by hitting times. But it doesn't work now because I've already hit other stuff. So if I have that answer, and the next button I hit is times, it grabs that answer, and then I can do times 9. Now, or you could have done 9 times 1.6 and just type in a bunch, and you'll still get 15. But if I only type in 9 times 1.6, I do not get the right answer. If I only type in 9 times 1.66, I do not get the right answer. This is where Khan says, don't round. Rounding is inaccurate. If somebody said they owe you $10 and they show up with 5 and they're like, well, I just rounded down. No. No, bro. Give me my $10. Questions? Mason.
You can do the division another way and still get 15.
Oh yeah, there's multiple ways to do this. We could cross multiply. There's probably about 4 different ways to solve this problem at least.
If you divide 9 by 24, you get 0.375.
Yeah.
If you times that by 40, you get 15.
Yeah. So you found a constant of proportionality there. That's what you did, is you found what's the relation. So guys, what Mason's pointing out is this right here. That the relationship between top and bottom of your fraction will stay the same as you work through the different fractions.
Report to the Perry Lane office.
let's check con. And we're recording, so it can be evidence for the morning class when they don't believe me. Alright, let's check 1A first to see what our goal is, like what we're trying to get to. By the way, like I already said, I shifted due dates, so now you only have one thing due today, but still try to get to them. You have the writing equations. We're going to practice this tomorrow. Alright, let's see where they're at. We should probably play some music for them, even though it's not you. Right. No.
Not that song.
Alright, ring 27. Ooh, is that it?
That's
Ooh.
it.
Alright, so they're ring 27, 17%. You might already be ahead.
Oh my gosh,
You already win.
no, but I want to see how much more we want.
Alright, well hold on. Let's imagine that we're still trying to catch up with them. Right? Because I had this ready, and it's less fun. Imagine we're trying to catch up with them. Do you hear it?
Ah, God, we're losing by so much. Let's do this. We can do that. We have to get only losing 27%.
Ring 28.
It's so simple yet terrifying.
Yeah. Alright, but you guys know that you've won for this week, so we might as well put on this.
Yeah.
Alright,
That's it.
for the sake of time, and I hate giving you candy as you're leaving, I will give you soccer starter class tomorrow, so you can eat them in here. Or I could just not give you candy.
Yeah, don't give me some candy. No.
Alright, have a great day, guys.
Oh,